Hey, congrats on the win. Just tell me a little bit what changed from after dropping that first set and you were trailing early in the second. Y'all turned it around real quick.
Yeah, we did. I'm really proud of all of us. I think we just kind of had to come back together and realize that we just needed to talk on our side and know what we were going to do and execute our game plan that we scouted. And I think we did a really good job of coming back together on that one.
Coach has said that you guys, the first couple of matches, it started out slow. Again, with the slow start, what do you think contributes to that in the first set?
I think we're just trying to figure everything out. You know, we're wanting to read the other side, and we're trying to apply what we see on the court from our scattering reports that we do. And I just think we have to talk it through, but I think we do a good job coming back with it.
You had 12 kills and 5 blocks, and I felt like every time you have a block, that kind of fed off your teammates. Do you sense that when you get a block?
I definitely like the energy that we all have when that all happens, and I think that happens with every kind of block. You know, you see the sideline, you know, when Matt gets a block, something like that, we all get really excited for that.
So back-to-back matches again this weekend, Friday, then Saturday. What was your experience last weekend seeing the same team in back-to-back days, and how do you adjust now for tomorrow against Tulane?
We know that they're obviously going to try and figure out a way to, you know, come out a little differently, and it's just our job to focus on our side of the net and worry about us and, you know, just our game plan and how we're going to execute that.
You've set records, program records, as far as single season blocks. You're up there in the record books. I'm just curious, is it how much of it is technique? How much is prep work? Just talk about how you kind of always seem to be in position to get that critical block.
It's everybody involved in the team. It's the coaching staff. It's all the girls. It's everybody involved during practice and games. You know, it's a full team effort on that one for sure.
What have you learned about your team so far now, gone through the first 4 matches? You've dropped the set here and there, but what have you learned about your team here so far?
We're going to fight. We're going to come back. We're not going to, you know, just lay down and let, you know, people walk all over us. We will come back, and we're going to come back hard and strong no matter what.
All right. I'm good.
Good.
Cool.
Thank you.
Good.
Have a good day.
Thank you,
Congrats. Good
Thank
job.
you.
Good job. You guys will have coach going on for you. All right.
Hey there.
How you guys doing?
Good, you?
Thanks for being here again. I thought the first set, when we go back through, we had 8 hitting errors. We had 4 or 5 serving errors. I mean, when I count everything up, we had 34 errors for points. And it hasn't been that way in any match before. 34 points, that's a game and a half right there in points alone that we had to overcome. And we didn't make them work too hard. I give them credit. They came out, they did some things to try to slow us down. They changed their defense up a little bit from the way they've been playing in the past, try to match up to our tendencies. So that's good to know. That's good to see. It's an adjustment that maybe we can make. Really, I thought the second and the third game, I thought we were pretty high kill, low error. And even after missing those serves in the first set, I think we missed maybe 2 serves the next 3 sets. And that was a big difference, the serve pass game. They were off balance a lot. Kudos to them for a lot of great out of system kills, because I thought we were playing pretty good floor defense. They tested us in ways we haven't been tested yet. And that's why we play in these matches. That's why we're doing this. That's why we're going to play Miami. We want to be tested in ways that other teams aren't testing us. So when the final exam starts, and there's 4 weeks of final exams for conference, we're ready to go. Fortunately for us, we picked a selection of teams that each bring something different to the floor. And we have to find ways to adjust it and come out and win. But I thought that first set had a little bit to do with them coming out with fire. We see that anybody that's playing against us comes out with a lot of fire. I don't know if that's really the attitude of this team. This team is very businesslike and very methodical, cerebral. And so they're always going to lose the rah-rah battle to begin with. And And, you know, that first set, everything was really tight until we got into that run where 3 servers, I think, missed in a row. That's points that we lost right there. Not only the serving point, but, you know, we're going to transition on some of those points and score. So maybe that's 5 or 6 points we lost. And that put the cushion between us and them. And then a few quirky plays, and they made some great plays and closed it out. I thought going down 5-0 the second half, I'm thinking, okay, well, the team's just not here today. It's just not there. It wasn't the best week of practice. I thought maybe it wasn't there, but we started chopping away, and I think we tied it right back up at 6-6 or something like that, and then started pulling away, and then really began to pull away big time. I remember Chloe having a big run, Ari having a big run on the serve. We just did a nice job of transition to kill, spreading the ball, antenna to antenna. Tried to get our middles involved. Didn't work as well as what we wanted it to. It's still something we're trying to work on in practice. But we were going to get that. We're going to get it so we have 6 viable options at any minute. Right now, we know we can set right or left antenna anytime, including the back row. But we need to be able to utilize our middles because our middles score at a very high rate. Blocking wise, I thought we did a good job, not a great job. We got our 8 in the 4 sets, but I felt like there was probably 12 or 14 blocks out there total that we could have had. Defensively, we hung with them. I thought defensively, with this floor defensive wise, this was our best match that we've had yet. And we can only get better. Go ahead.
You mentioned a business-like approach, some of the slow starts, but that shows a maturity in the team as well that will serve you well over the course of the season, that they're not getting rattled by the way they start, they adjust, and then move forward.
Yeah, you know, Trace, I think there's 2 things. It does show a maturity, but it also shows a bit of an immaturity. The immaturity part of it is we're focused on what we're trying to do, plus we're focusing on the scouting report. And so you got too many things going on through your head, makes you a little bit robotic. And I think a more mature player is going to pick one or the other and just kind of ride it out and then incorporate the other part of the game. And I'd like to see us, when we're struggling on our side, forget the scouting report. Just go in and do what we do. And as we start to find some rhythm, then we'll go back to the scouting report again. But I think we've got players that are in their mind thinking scouting report, instead of seed ball, dig ball, or seed ball, hit ball, or, you know, we need to simplify it, I think, in the first game. And you know, maybe that's on us coaches. Maybe we need to pull back a little bit on that. And still, I mean, we haven't played volleyball forever and we haven't practiced a lot. And so maybe we need to spend, you know, more time, instead of scattering report, more time on UCF.
There was a moment, I want to say, in the second when Anne Marie got a block. And you could sense it, at least watching it, that the players kind of fed off of that. And I think that was kind of right when that run started a little bit, if not a little bit after that. Do you sense that when her or Narissa, when others make that block, that could change the momentum, maybe get that, you know, energy going there from the rest of the team?
I remember leaning over to Brian and say, that's going to be a turner right there. That's going to turn things around. When you go up and you take somebody's attack and you block it and that ball hits the ground before either hitter hits the ground, you know that was a stuff. And that there is not a better feeling in the sport of volleyball. Not even a great kill. There's not a better feeling than to stuff block somebody where it's arm, hand, floor before anybody even hits the ground. I think the energy, the excitement, not only did you take away a point, you scored a point. There's a lot of things that happen when you block, and that's why we want to be a strong blocking team. You know, last year we were. This year we're in par with some of the numbers, but there's still blocks that we're leaving out there. And again, timing, practice, all that stuff comes with more work.
You've spoken of the unique nature of scheduling for this season. You felt the conference level intensity, though, that Tulane brought today.
Oh, no doubt. It had a conference championship tournament feel. You know, there's every reason to believe that they're going to be part of that conference championship, and it certainly had the feel of that match. And that's good. That's one of those things that we need right now is to play something where we got a little bit of skin on the line, you know, rather it's for real or we perceive it. And so this is one of those matches that this is a weekend actually that we're going to use going forward before we get into conference, hopefully setting ourselves up to get into the conference tournament. And then once we get there, try to go on a 2-0 run to win it.
Obviously, Mackenzie Martin had a fast start for them, talented player. But yet, as the match went on, I felt like once you got, I mentioned that Anne-Marie block, but then Narissa got some blocks. I kind of put some pressure on them, maybe force them into some unforced errors because they're mentally thinking, boy, they could block her shot a little bit. Just talk about that because she got off to a fast start, but you're able to kind of slow her down.
Yeah, she's a hell of a player. We're going to have to comb through some film. We're going to find out, where she's having success in her shots because somewhere there's holes in the defense, there's holes in the block, there's holes somewhere that she's finding. She knows something that we don't know. So we got to figure out what that is. She handled the ball well and she attacked well, and there really wasn't a whole lot we could do about it. I think the only thing that we could do is serve them tough, get them out of system, and make her not take a high quality swing. She had to hit a lot of low quality swings because every time she had a high quality swing, she put it away. We have to get used to that because every team's going to have a Mackenzie Martin where anytime they're in system, anytime they want, they can get a kill. And we have to find ways to slow that down. Sometimes it's not necessarily at the point of attack. Sometimes it's somewhere else on the floor.
As you reflect back on the preparation for the back-to-back matches last weekend, what do you think you might have learned that you'll take into a different mindset going into your prep for tomorrow's match?
Yeah, I think in terms of our preparation, in terms of what we wanted to do, I thought we were right on everything that we did. They're the ones that did some things differently than what we saw in their previous 5 matches. So we're going to have to put some things in to counter that. We learned a little bit about them. I think they probably learned a little bit about us. And Coach Barnes, he's a big time coach. He knows what he's doing. He's coached very high levels, and he's going to make changes too. So we don't want to get too cute in making adjustments, and then they're already adjusting to what they think we're going to adjust to. He has the ability to do that. So I think we just have to stabilize our errors, keep our errors down. I think we have to figure out some ways to shut down some of the loopholes that they're taking advantage of. And I think if we do that, then we just get into a war where we score 3 for their 2. We keep scoring 3 for their 2, we'll be okay. They brought it. They did some really good things today. I thought, with that being said, I'm pretty proud of how our team reacted. We're not giving up. We're not giving up when we're behind 5-0. We're not giving up when we're down 1-0. We're finding ways to fight back, and the energy is staying up. And that's going to be good. That's something that's going to last us an entire season. So we're learning a lot of lessons right now.
Your thoughts on Tali and Mackenzie Chambers and their performance? Both of them had 8 kills each, kind of helping out in the offense.
Well, 2 of them, their job is to make sure that McKenna Melville's shoulder doesn't fall off. We don't want to be one of those teams that sets one player 60 or 80 times a match. We've seen those teams, and I don't think that's a team that we want to be. So being able to have another left side be able to, she had 8 kills and 20 swings. That's almost 50%. She started off rough, but she came back. And, obviously having Anne-Marie go out there with 12 kills, that's huge because now we're spreading the ball antenna to antenna. Mackenzie Chambers didn't have a Mackenzie night. Actually, she didn't have a Mackenzie first set. But if you look at the numbers in the following 3 sets, she was pretty solid. So there's some things that she's going to learn too. She's still a young player that's out there learning how to dissect the block and how to dissect the defense and go where they give it to you. If she wants to go where she wants to go, well, the opponents know that, so they're going to take that away. And so she's learning to go to other areas, and it's fun watching her kind of grow up right before our eyes because she continues to get better and better, both on the offensive and the blocking side.
You mentioned earlier to me before that Anne-Marie Watts is the best blocker you've ever had and seen. Coach, is one of the things that makes her so unique is, a lot of players can get blocks and put up stats, but her blocks have significance. It seems to turn matches around, get her team going, the intangibles, that it's just more than a block. Is that a pretty accurate description of what makes her?
I think there's some truth to that. What's just special about her is more often than not, she's in the right spot. So it's not always the 5 blocks that she gets that are a really big deal. It's the 15 balls that come off the top of her hands, and somebody in the middle back is just getting a little easy ball that they pass up to the setter. That's really how you value a blocker. The stuff blocks are nice, but the control blocks are really what makes a blocker valuable. And yeah, she gets the big time block at just the right spot because she's up there so high and she penetrates so well. But I'm telling you, there's blockers on the stat sheet that don't even have a block that are great blockers because we're controlling balls that are coming off their hands.